Hey, how's it going? My name is Chris Down. Today what we're going to be talking about is why you should or should not run Google Ads for your junk removal business. Now, if you're new here, pretty much what I do is I talk about all things Google Ads related to local businesses. One of the niches that I work in is junk removal, so obviously today we're talking about junk removal. Now, obviously I'm biased when it comes to Google Ads, but there's a lot of pros, there's a lot of cons, and I wanted to get into the benefits of running Google Ads, but also some of those cons and certain situations where I think people probably shouldn't run Google Ads. So without further ado, I'm gonna get my face off the screen and we will jump into the content for this video. So let's start off with some of the benefits. Let's start out with some of the good things about running Google Ads and why you think you should run Google Ads for your junk removal business. First thing you're going to find with Google Ads is, for the most part, you're going to find some of the highest quality leads when it comes to Google Ads. Pretty much all the leads that are coming from Google Ads are some of the highest quality, highest intent leads that you're going to find out there. So at the end of the day, Google's a search engine, and really if you have people going to a search engine seeking out the things that you provide, they're already in a state where they're ready to just pay somebody to solve that problem. So when people go to Google, you're going to have people who already have junk that they need removed, and they are just seeking somebody out to remove that junk. So when somebody comes to you from Google, they already have a problem, and really all you have to do is you have to solve that problem for them. We're not talking about Facebook leads or leads from kind of deal apps or Groupon or anything like that where people are searching for a deal. These are just people that want to solve a problem. So when you get leads from Google, they're very, very high intent, they're very, very high quality, and for the most part with a lot of these leads, the first business that shows up and gives them a quote will most likely get the job. So you don't have to jump over a bunch of hurdles and go through a bunch of hoops to try and close a sale. You just show up, give them a quote, there's a pretty good chance you're going to close some business. Another great thing about Google Ads is that all these leads are going to be inbound leads. So for the most part, you're going to find that campaigns are going to give you inbound phone calls and form fills. So in this case, you're not going to have to chase people down. You're not going to have to, very importantly, you're not going to have to deal with shared leads, and you're not going to have to deal with people who are on apps and they're just looking for deals, they're looking for the cheapest price, whatever the case may be. And it's not to say that there won't be people looking for cheap prices here and there, but having those high quality people reaching out usually on a daily basis, pretty much inbound to your business, is a huge, huge benefit of Google Ads. Not only are those leads going to be inbound leads, another amazing, amazing benefit of Google Ads is that those leads are going to be exclusive to your business. I'm sure a lot of people, not only in junk removal, but in a ton of other niches, have dealt with, some of those bigger lead gen websites, cough, Angie, any of those other, big lead generating websites who then, reach out to you, they sell you leads, but then they also share those leads with like 4 or 5 other businesses. And then, you and 4 or 5 other people are trying to call that lead up to book an appointment. And it's kind of a mess and it's a pain. So really that phone call that came in, that form fill that came in, it's yours. And if you get to that lead before other local competitors, there's a much higher chance that job is going to be yours because it's not going to be shared with a bunch of other people. Your campaign is your campaign, and a lead that comes from your campaign is going to go to your business and your business alone. Doesn't mean that people haven't called a few other people to kind of price shop and shop around, but if somebody calls your business, that's not getting sent to multiple other people at one time. Another really, really good benefit of Google Ads is that you'll find the lead flow to be pretty consistent. Whenever I'm looking at a search engine, whether it's Google, YouTube, whatever it is, I look at any of those search engines as a river, and that water that's going by in that river is all of the searches that are happening in your local market every single day. So there's people going to, in this case, Google primarily, and they are searching for things like junk removal near me, junk hauling near me, junk removal in your particular city, and they're going there and they're searching that every single day, and those people are all potential customers. And really all you have to do is you got to show up to that river with your bucket, and you got to get some of that water from the river. And in this case, your bucket is kind of your ads, your campaign, all of that kind of stuff. And for the most part, that river is never going to stop flowing. Whether you're there or not, it's just going to keep going. And depending on what's going on with the economy or the seasons or whatever, it can go up and down. Search volume can go up or down, but that river is still going to flow regardless of what's going on. I mean, we've gone through the past couple of years of 2020 and all that kind of stuff. Even through all of that, there is still search volume. There's still leads to be had. And having that kind of reliability from a lead source is amazing. You can run a bunch of Facebook ads and they can work. I'm not trying to, kind of trash Facebook ads or anything like that, but campaigns can kind of burn out over time. You got to switch up your offer, your copy, your creative, all that kind of stuff. The great thing with Google Ads is if you have a campaign that works, there's a really, really, really good chance that that campaign is going to work consistently over the long term, not just for a couple of months. And, like I said, regardless of what's going on in the world at the time, there's a very good chance that there's still going to be search volume. And when there's search volume and that river is still flowing, there's going to be a potential to get consistent leads from the platform. One final really, really good benefit when it comes to running a Google Ads campaign for your junk removal business is you're going to have flexible lead volume. And what I mean by that is when you're running a Google Ads campaign, you can pretty much adjust your lead volume pretty much on demand. And it's kind of like a faucet. You can turn it up, you can turn it down based on the number of leads you want to generate in a month. Now, the caveat behind this is as long as you have a well-built, well-optimized campaign and it's already kind of churning out leads for you, this can be applicable. So if you want more leads, you turn the budget up. You want less leads, you can turn the budget down. Like let's say you need to focus on hiring for a month or something like that, or you just got a new truck and you have some kind of operational things you need to sort out. You can turn the budget down and kind of slow the lead volume down for a month. And then if you wanted to turn it up, you could just do the opposite. So let's say you've got a campaign, it's consistently generating leads around like $40 a lead, something like that. If you're spending about $75 a day, 5 days a week, that should come out to around something like 40 leads a month. And if you just said, how can I double my lead volume? Just double the budget. It sounds overly simplistic, but in a lot of cases, if you just want to get more leads from the Google Ads campaign, just increase the daily budget. You can increase that ad spend to $150 a day, and you should, in theory, see your lead volume go up to around 80 leads a month. It could be more, it could be less, but answering the question for yourself of how do I get more leads? If you have a functioning Google Ads campaign that's churning out predictable, consistent leads at a consistent rate, and you just say, I want more leads, you can just up that budget. There are some caveats to it, but for the most part, you can just up the budget, get more leads, and that's one final really, really great benefit of running a Google Ads campaign. So now that we have covered all of the positives, the benefits of running a Google Ads campaign for your junk removal business, there are also drawbacks. As with a lot of things in life, it's not all pros. There's also cons to things as well. I don't recommend using Google Ads for every business. I think anybody can run Google Ads. It's just really a matter of having your business, having your budget, and having everything in the right place before you actually run a campaign. Because if it's just not the right time, that could actually affect the performance of the campaign. And ultimately, my goal with making these videos and kind of giving you the real information behind Google Ads, I want to kind of set you up to run the best possible campaign that you can and not just waste a bunch of money. I want to make sure I give you the shortcut to all that. So let's get into some of the cons of running Google Ads right now. The first and probably one of the main drawbacks of Google Ads is that the campaign really needs to be set up properly. It needs to be set up properly. It needs to be managed properly. It needs to be optimized properly. The reason being is, Google's going to charge you every time somebody clicks on your ad, and Google has absolutely no problem spending your budget regardless of the results you get. Like, they don't care how your campaign's set up. They don't care if you're getting a good cost per lead. They don't care about the quality of your leads. They don't care how much money you're making from the campaign. The agreement with Google and the deal with Google is that they will charge you for every single click that you get. So the deal with them is it's, kind of starts and ends at the click. Whatever happens after that click is on you. So it's very, very, very important that everything needs to be set up properly. And I've audited a bunch of accounts, and because of that, I've really seen Google absolutely punish people that don't set things up properly, because at the end of the day, Google will spend your money. And once the money's spent, and regardless of whether results come in or not, that's really not Google's problem. So this is a massive thing that needs to be, I guess, kind of take time on it before you really set up a campaign, and this can be avoided. So to avoid that issue, make sure either you know what you're doing, and I have a ton of videos on this channel. I have hours and hours of content on how to actually do this properly, or make sure the person you're bringing in to build and manage the campaign knows what they're doing, and ultimately build the campaign properly, manage it and optimize it, and you should have results. And I think this is a perfect opportunity for a shameless plug. Go to the link in the description if you are looking for somebody to set up your junk mobile campaigns. There's an application to apply to work with me if you're interested. So just throwing it out there. So shameless plug out of the way. The second main drawback to Google Ads is it can honestly be expensive. And this is a big reason why I also don't recommend Google Ads for everyone. In the junk removal space, a single high quality click can be around $12. And I usually recommend that people start their daily ad spend budget around $75 a day, at least in junk removal. That changes, niche to niche, market to market, but that's a rough starting area that I recommend in junk removal. And there's a ton of reasons for that. There's a lot of nuance, going into the nuances of bidding and all that kind of stuff is, I think, a little bit out of the scope of this video, but just based on basic math, if you're only spending $30 a day and a single click could cost you $12, you're really only going to be getting like 2 to 3 clicks per day. And when your daily budget's too small, you're going to struggle to be competitive against other local competitors. So they'll probably just outbid you and they'll show up more than you. You're probably not going to get as many leads as you want from the campaign, and it's really going to kind of struggle to get momentum. So because of that, I really recommend that people have a solid budget to use before they actually get into Google Ads, really just so they can be competitive in their local marketplace. They can get momentum, they can get a good number of leads from their campaign to actually make it worth their while. On top of that, not only having the daily budget and the monthly budget to make that happen, I also recommend having somewhere around like a 3-month runway on that ad budget. Main reason being is it takes time to get a campaign up and running and then also optimize it. Month one, if you're new to Google Ads, you might see some leads here and there month one. On my end, I'm usually able to create leads in the first month, but whenever you're running Google Ads, there's a process of optimization. The whole idea with the platform is you launch a campaign, you optimize it, you refine it, you get it working better and better month after month, and you're usually going to start seeing results as the campaign runs over time, because you're going to be able to make changes, you're going to be able to improve it, and you'll usually see the best results from month 3 and beyond. So if you're going into this and you're saying, I have $500 to spend, and you are just going to kind of test it out and dip your toe in and kind of see, and you're expecting it to return right away, I just wouldn't recommend Google Ads. There's probably more cost-effective things you could do, whether that's, putting out yard signs or doing some more like guerrilla marketing kind of things. That's probably a better investment of that $500. I would really recommend holding off on Google Ads until you can, take care of that ad spend, take care of the monthly spend, and make sure that you have a runway to really invest into Google Ads. Because despite the cons, despite the expense, in my opinion, kind of the pros outweigh the cons. So that's it for this video. Those are some of the pros, some of the cons when it comes to running Google Ads for your junk removal business. There's a ton more that I could talk about. There's so many little nuances with it that are both good, that are both bad. But I think at the end of the day, when things are done properly, you set up a Google Ads campaign right for a business, I think the pros really outweigh the cons. Obviously, be realistic about it for your business. Don't jump into it if you just simply don't have the budget right now. But the great thing about it is I almost look at a well-optimized Google Ads campaign like building an engine that you're almost like strapping onto your business. It's an investment. Once you get it built and you get it built properly, it doesn't just disappear. It's an asset for your business that you're essentially attaching to it that can help you grow, but also just sustain lead volume for the long term. A lot of things can happen. Certain lead channels can get shut off. A Google My Business listing could get suspended, something like that. A lot of things can happen, but if you have at least something going on with a Google Ads campaign, you can, turn your lead volume up, you can turn it down, and it can be a really, really good source of leads for your business over the long term. So that's pretty much it for this video. I'm going to leave it at that, and I hope you got a little bit of insight from this. If you are thinking about running Google Ads, I hope this kind of help sway you one way or the other on whether it's something good for you right now. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and if you are a junk removal business and you are looking to run Google Ads for your business, down in the description below there's a link that you can click on to submit essentially a free consultation application. It's a no pressure conversation, just want to see if I can actually help you out, fill you on how things work. And if you are running Google Ads already, I do also offer free account audits. So if that's you, just go to the link in the description below, fill out the form, it'll send it over to me and I'll reach out to you. But that's it for now. Like the video if you like it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks.